Good morning, everyone. It is cold and chilly here. You can see my breath. Maybe not enough on the camera, but I'm seeing little clouds in front of me. I got my new yarn yesterday, and I did a release video about it, doing a yarn review, and I've been working with it this morning, and I just wanted to say I'm struggling because I like it so much. I want this project to last, and it's going too fast. I'm just about at the point where I need to fold it over and have it be like a neck, and I start going in the round. This is the most beautiful yarn, and it's making such a light and fluffy sweater. I mean, this is going to be beautiful. So I'm struggling because I don't want to finish it. I don't want anything to happen. It's so nice. It's so pleasant to work with, and I just lost a stitch. So let me fix that. 2 stitches, it looks like. Yeah, 2. So anyway, I am having a good morning so far. I've walked the dog, I saw the kitty, everything is going well here. I'm hoping to crochet today. My son has a play date and is going over to my aunt's house today and watching a movie with her. So they are having a good time today. And I should have time to sit and crochet and hang out with my hubby and the doggo. So all should be good today. Too bad it's so cold. It is Groundhog Day. And apparently, Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, and we have 6 more weeks of winter. Darn the groundhog. I hope it's not true, though, because honestly, I'm kind of done with winter already. It's cold, I like being outside, and I want to have my little office out here crocheting, my crochet hole out in the truck, and it's just too cold. I just can't manage. Oh, well, I guess I should have pulled out this row and just started connecting them. So we'll do that. This yarn frogs delightfully well, if I could just say. There's no hang-ups on it, and it is wonderful. Okay. Now we are back to where we need to be. Okay. So here's the turtleneck of my sweater. It's so good. It is so good, people. This yarn is just great. Lion Brand feels like a dream. I believe it does. It is so fluffy and wonderful and squishy. It's very squishy. And these balls have a lot of yardage. This is 200 and some yards, and the ball hasn't changed shape or size yet since I've been working on it, and I've already done quite a good deal, as you see. And again, I'm just going to show you the yarn because it's so fluffy and delightful. And it's not that hard to see your stitches, I've noticed. I am using a bigger hook, so it does tend to be a little bit easier. There. Oh no, I folded in my end. Okay, there we go. This is one of my favorite parts, sewing this seam up and turning my rectangle into a sweater. I think it's just magical. I love this process. So yeah, I just seam up the 2 ends, and then I fold it over, and it looks like a turtleneck. Squishy and soft. Now, I do have a tutorial for this online on my YouTube channel. It's done in a couple different parts. And if you have questions, you can leave comments for me, and I will answer them. I really like this turtleneck, and I wear it all the time. I have many. I think I need to open a shop. I have so many sweaters and hats that I have made. I believe I should open a shop because I have so much. Uh-oh. Okay. Got to line up my ends and keep them that way so it comes out straight. So what's going on in your world today, everybody? How's the weather where you are? Is it warm? Oops. Well, today it's not going to be very warm here. And I will say that it snowed a little bit last night. So there is this lovely layer of slippery snow over slippery ice, and it is not so pleasant. I am not loving the winter. It doesn't bother me so much because I have so many sweaters to cuddle up in, and that does give me quite a lot of joy. And I wear sweaters pretty much year round. It doesn't get too hot, and I generally have long pants and a sweater on all winter and all summer. I'm not a summer person. No bikinis for me. I am just not one of those summer people. I don't like heat. I don't like humidity is another one. I really struggle with humidity. Did that go through? No, it didn't. It just went through one side. Pull this back up. That's it. All right, so it's coming along nicely. This yarn is great to work with. I am really happy. Somebody on my crochet forum on Facebook said this yarn gave them the heebie-jeebies. And I was like, no, it's so fluffy and soft. You can't hate this yarn. But I totally understand that some people really are turned off by fluffy yarns. Whereas this has been my fantasy to always crochet with big, fluffy, soft yarns. It's pretty much what got me crocheting, is that I wanted to use really soft yarns. And some of the first yarn that I ever used was alpaca. I had Angora. I had this beautiful ball of alpaca that was super soft. And somebody made me a hat with part of it. They found some other yarn to mix it with, because there wasn't enough to make just a hat. It had a nice stripe of it. And it was very soft and wonderful, and I still have no idea what happened to that hat. It has disappeared. It was made for me in college, and I have no idea where it has gone after all this time. I haven't seen it in years. So I don't know what happened to it, but it was some of the softest yarn I ever used, and somebody gifted it to me. So I didn't make myself a hat because I didn't know how to crochet at the time. I just knew how to knit, and I didn't want a knit hat. I wanted a very specific hat made out of it. And so they made it for me. It was a roommate of mine. So anyway, now I am at the neck, and I start going in rounds. And I'm very excited to say that this is my favorite part. Okay, we're tying in this end, and we're getting this end going. Okay. So I'm excited to see this switch over to double crochet. I want to know what it looks like, so I'm very excited to see and find out. See if this works, or if I have to keep going in half doubles, which I've never actually done. It's always fine in double crochet for me. But also I'm just sort of, it's automatic at this point. I don't think I could do it in half double crochet if I tried. It's just this automatic double crochet movement that I've been doing for so long that I don't think I could probably change it. It would take a lot of focus for me. I'm sure I would get it wrong and switch over to double crochet at some point and have to frog a lot. Because this is very mindless for me. And I'm not going very fast because it's very cold, guys. It is really cold, and I don't have very good dexterity right now. So I'm going very slow on my crocheting. Nope. Through the holes. There we go. Got stuck on something, tangled. And it's very hard to correct. My fingers are so numb. Anyway, I just wanted to share this yarn and share my projects this morning. I don't have much else to be doing, and I really wanted to talk about this yarn again, and I really just wanted to hang out and chat crochet a bit. So, if people have not made wearables, it is time you give it a try. That was the first thing I ever made. I mean, I made little squares to when I was learning the stitches, you know, like dishcloths or whatever. But the first project that I worked on was a big vintage sweater pattern. It's like a sweater coat. And I still have it. I never wear it, and I'd love to sell it. I don't ever want to wear it. It's too heavy for me. It's a little too big for me, and I don't like it. I don't like it. It was my first project. Come on. And it's beautiful and it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't like it. I'm not a fan of the yarn anymore. I've learned a lot since then, and I see it as, again, just the first thing I ever made. And I would just like to say, if I could do that, if I could go from teaching myself how to crochet to making sweaters and coats. So can you. Wearables are not hard. They do take a little time, like a blanket, but I see a ton of people making blankets all the time and looking for other things to make and wanting to make wearables, but are intimidated by it. So I will just say making a wearable goes a lot faster, generally, than making a blanket. Blankets are hard. They're tedious because you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, which is great if you're binge watching a show or something while you're crocheting. You can just sort of do it mindlessly. But for me, I think wearables are very easy. They're not difficult to do. And if a beginner can do it, I think that other people can. Now, I was determined. I was very determined to make a sweater coat. I was very determined to make this beautiful hooded sweater. And I practiced with a bunch of yarn before I used my Angora and wool yarn that I wanted for the sweater. So I used cheap, like, crappy yarn to practice with, to make sure I was getting the sweater pattern right, because it was very complicated and difficult. Not my first one, the second one. And so I made a couple of practice sweaters, practice hoods, because the hood was the hardest part for me. It's a long, pointy, like Harry Potter elf hood. And that's where you start, is on the very tip, and you go all the way down the hood to where it turns into a hood, and then you start making a yoke of the sweater. It's very cool. But I haven't made that in a long time. It uses a much smaller hook and smaller yarn than I want to work with right now. And I'm kind of done. I made that pattern a couple times now, and I'm done with it. I've mastered that pattern, and I don't want to go back. And look at that. I've gone all the way in the round, people. I'm back at my seam. So now I can fold it over and see what it's going to look like. Oh, it's so soft and so fluffy. This is going to be a fabulous sweater. I will be wearing this all the time. This is the back. You can see the seam. There. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm so excited, everybody. Again, this yarn feels like heaven from Lion Brand, and you can only get it there right now. It's brand new, so you can get it just from their website. But this is pretty fabulous. I'm happy as a clam right now, and I'm really excited to use this, but I need it to go slow because I need it to last. And that is going to be very difficult for me because I just want to sit here and work on it all day. But I need it to last. I have a yarn budget every 2 weeks, and I have to wait until my next yarn budget to get more. And that will be difficult. I have lots of projects that I'm in the middle of that I have no desire to work on. I have yarn upstairs in bags and boxes and a ton of it. I have a huge stash. And most of it is left over from projects or things that I'm working on. Like I have a big sweater that I'm almost done with, made out of Woolies, Stick and Quick, I think it's called, or Chunky. It's big. It's big. And it made a really big chunky sweater, but I hated working with the yarn. I don't know. It was just too thick for me. It wasn't as soft as I like, but it's making a beautiful sweater. I just have no desire to work on it. So I don't know if the rest of you have this problem, but if you do, and you have conquered it, I would love to know what you did, because I'm struggling. I want to make sweaters. I want to make this, and I need great yarn to do it, and I want more of this. I just want more of this. I have enough yarn of one type to make a sweater, but I've already made 2 in that color, so that seems a little excessive to me. I don't even wear one of them. I want to sell them. I want to sell them. So I would like to open a shop. I think I need a shop. If there are crocheters out there that are in upstate New York that want to open a shop selling sweaters, please let me know. That would be fabulous. Well, I'm going to go in now. I'm a little cold and I'd like to have some breakfast and brush my hair because it's definitely time. Take a shower, all the morning stuff. So I hope you have a great day. I hope that this video wasn't too boring. I was just chit-chatting a little. I just wanted to chit-chat about my yarn and my project and be happy with other crocheters. So anyway, thanks for joining in. My name is Amy. I crochet a lot of sweaters, and I love it. So Anyway, if you have questions, comments, or otherwise, leave them in the comments below. I definitely respond right away. I pretty much always have my phone on me, so I'm always available. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great day, and I hope everybody likes this yarn and wants to be using it. I think it's fabulous. And it's 100% nylon. It's machine wash and dryable. What? Something as soft and fluffy nice like this? I mean, this looks like alpaca, and it feels softer than alpaca. I'm not going to lie. Alpaca is definitely my favorite fiber, but this feels better. This feels better. And I know that that's kind of crappy to say because yarns that aren't made out of natural fibers are bad for the environment and made from plastic. My husband reminds me of this all the time, and it just gets me depressed. So I try not to think about it, but this is fabulous. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This is great. So I will be continuing this. I will be posting updates. I'm sure I'll finish it soon. I'm sure I will. And I'll try to crochet with you all again this week. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, everybody.